Today, we're diving into a topic that might have caught a few people off guard. Elon Musk's AI company, XAI, and the controversies surrounding their new data center in Memphis. Specifically, we're talking about some pretty serious allegations related to air pollution.
That's right. It's not exactly the kind of attention XI was hoping for. The Southern Environmental Law Center, or SELC, has raised concerns in a letter to the local health department, claiming that XAI's operations at their Memphis site are potentially violating environmental laws.
And this isn't just about some minor paperwork issue. The accusations are pretty significant. XI is said to be running a lot more gas turbines than they were permitted for, 35 to be exact, when they only applied for permits for 15.
That's a huge discrepancy. These turbines are part of the infrastructure they're using to power their massive AI models. Apparently, they're generating quite a bit of power, 421 megawatts, which is comparable to an entire power plant.
Right, and that's where the problems start. SELC claims that XI is operating these extra turbines without the proper permits, which could lead to significant pollution, including up to 2,000 tons of nitrogen oxides each year.
And that's a big deal because those nitrogen oxides contribute to smog, which has serious health risks, particularly for people living near the site. Respiratory issues, higher mortality rates, it's all tied to air pollution like this.
Exactly. The SELC even stated that this could make the XAI site the biggest industrial source of nitrogen oxides in all of Memphis. So this is more than just a regulatory issue. It's a health issue for the local community.
And it's not like Memphis is a stranger to pollution. The area is already dealing with air quality challenges. The last thing they need is an additional industrial source of these harmful emissions.
That's the real concern here. The people living near this facility are already dealing with chronic respiratory problems, and they're worried about the impact these turbines could have. There was even a powerful moment at a public hearing when a local resident, Easter May Knox, called on Musk to prioritize clean air.
Yeah, that really struck a chord. She essentially said, look, Elon, you've got all this money, but we just want to breathe clean air. It really highlights how much this is affecting people's day-to-day lives.
It's a sobering reminder that behind all the high-tech AI talk, there are real human lives at stake. And it's not just about the technology itself, it's about the impact that this infrastructure has on the environment and local communities.
Absolutely. And adding to the complexity is the fact that neither XI nor the Shelby County Health Department has publicly responded to these claims, leaving a lot of unanswered questions.
It's definitely a troubling silence. And to make things even more interesting, Musk has reportedly been in Washington recently, engaging in talks about reducing government spending, possibly even regulations affecting his companies.
Yeah, and both SpaceX and Tesla have faced their own environmental run-ins with regulators in the past. It kind of gives you the sense that this could be part of a bigger trend, pushing for rapid tech development while trying to avoid regulatory oversight.
That's the tension, right? On one side, you have these incredibly ambitious tech companies pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI. But on the other side, you have communities that are dealing with the real-world consequences of this growth, like air pollution and health risks.
It's progress versus protection, innovation versus the well-being of the people who live in these areas. And when you look at something like this, it makes you wonder how we as a society can strike that balance.
If these allegations turn out to be true, it raises even bigger questions about accountability, not just for XI, but for the tech industry as a whole. If a major company is allowed to operate outside the rules, what does that say to other companies?
Exactly. It could erode public trust in the tech sector and in the regulators who are supposed to hold these companies accountable. It's not just about Memphis anymore. It's about the broader conversation around AI, energy, and environmental responsibility.
So what does this mean for the future? If these issues aren't addressed, we could see more of these kinds of conflicts as AI companies continue to expand. It's not just a Memphis problem. It could be a much bigger issue.
And beyond the environmental impact, we need to think about how society balances technological progress with the health and well-being of communities. As these AI companies grow, how do we make sure they're not leaving behind environmental destruction?
It's something we'll definitely have to keep an eye on. The stakes are high, and this situation could set a precedent for how AI development interacts with local communities and their environment.
Absolutely. As much as we push for innovation, we also need to ensure that the infrastructure to support it doesn't come at the cost of our air, our health, or our communities. It's a complex issue and one that we need to watch closely.
So To recap, XI's Memphis data center is facing serious allegations about operating gas turbines without the proper permits, potentially contributing to air pollution and health risks. And with little response from XI or local regulators, the situation remains in limbo.
Exactly. It's a critical reminder that the rapid expansion of tech companies, especially in AI, must be accompanied by strict environmental oversight to ensure that progress doesn't come at the expense of people's health and the planet.
A lot to think about here, and it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. As AI continues to grow, we'll have to keep asking the hard questions about how we balance innovation with responsibility.
Definitely. And that's where we'll leave it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.